it's great. Yeah, we've been, throughout the summer and the first 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it's been, 2 hours a week, trying to figure out a way to teach the parts of the whole, and now here teach the whole, and then connect those parts, and then hopefully about a month from now be able to resemble a basketball team and go out there and compete in front of people, referees, cameras, the whole thing.
Coach, any concern with just the youth on this team? Look at the roster; it's very young.
Take a look at what I looked like the day I got hired, and see what I look like now. And the hair's a little wider, and there's a bigger spot on the top of my head. That's going to continue to go that way with these guys. But they're great. They're great.
Is it a bit like starting over with so many new guys that you kind of just
No. Yeah, no. It's new guys is part of the business. For anyone to ever sit around and say, "Well, we're too young." No, that's part of the business. The part that makes the business easier to do year to year are the returning guys, and we got a core guys that played major minutes last year that understand. They comprehend me. I comprehend them. There's direction now for those first year guys. Where last year none of those guys had direction. I was trying to figure them out. They were trying to figure me out. And
how big of a role is it for Frank to have Carrera back? Not only after his first year of learning, but to have him healthy this year.
Well, I mean, usually when you're a high-strung player like he is that plays on emotion, when you're not physically fit to sustain, that emotion tends to take you to places that you don't want to be at. And that's what happened to him sometimes last year. He couldn't sustain, and then that emotion would lead to bad fouls and lose his focus on what we were trying to do, and he kind of get wrapped up in his own moment. I'm based on what I've seen in 1 hour practices, which is all we've done, he's way ahead of where he was at last year because he can sustain effort right now. So we'll see. It's what makes Mike special is that emotion that he brings to the table every day. That's also his weakness. It's as he continues to mature as a player, is how he manages that will determine how good he can become.
Coach, what do you want to accomplish this first week of practice, especially on day one? What are some of the goals you're setting for this team this week?
Pass it to the guys on your team. Maybe make a layup. We missed so many of them last year. That'd be refreshing. No, I'm just getting guys to continue to understand what we're doing. Terminology, that's a huge part, is terminology, and those young guys, they got to grasp the terminology because the summer workouts and the preseason workouts. But now we have to, this kind of speeds up a little bit now. This isn't as laid back and as slow as the summer, maybe the first 3-4 weeks were. So we've got to move forward, and they've got to work real hard to stay in tune.
Compared to last year's struggles, does that motivate you more coming into this season?
I don't like to speak like fans don't understand what we do, because we're all connected. You might view last season as a struggle. I viewed it as us laying a foundation. Some people might say, well, your team wasn't any good, and I'm going to tell you, I thought we were okay. Now, if you want to judge me and my team based on our record, that's fine. You have that prerogative. We laid a foundation for what we're about. It's not about disregarding last year. It's not about disliking last year. It's about embracing last year and continuing to build. That's what we have to focus on here. Last year, listen, when I got hired here, we were in dead last place in this league. We weren't going from last to first in 3 months. Work takes work. It takes building. It takes patience. And we're right in the middle of that right now. We're excited about where we're at. Last year was a great thing to be a part of, to make us appreciate how much work we got to do and how far we've come already.
Coach, do you sense high energy out of this group because they're so young and just maybe eager to get going? Can you sense this group has a lot of energy coming into the first day of practice? They're
excited. And, the excitement comes, like I said before, from just those guys that played last year, that sense of urgency. All the guys, here's what happens. All the guys that played last year, they got one less year that they can say that they got college basketball left in their system. They got less games that they're ever going to play. So that sense of urgency grows in them, and then it filters down to those first-year guys. And the first-year guys love to play, so it's a heck of a marriage right now.